Ernie Isley, Deal With It. CBT guitar lesson for Mary. And Mary, you know how excited I was when you emailed me about wanting to do some funk CBTs. Ecstatic. I don't get a lot of requests for that, especially CBT wise. But you know, a lot of people know me for rock and metal, but they don't realize this old school funk is one of my first loves as well. I love it. I love slap bass and that whole thing. So yeah, this is great. Standard tuning on this. It's 6 pages of tabs. There are some overdubbed guitar tracks in this, as well as the keys. Let's jump in. They are going to overlay at some point. I'll explain all that stuff for you. So section 1A, 0 seconds in, it's a C major. And once you get this first chord, you'll get the ones, because they're all the same shape, just different frets. 3A, 5th fret, D, G, and B. You can decide, do you want your 3rd finger, 4th finger, 3 fingers? We all have different size fingers, so just experiment with that. The important part is, though, that you hear strings 5 through 2. So strum, move it up a whole step to a D major, and then do it again, but they're going to be quicker transitions. Okay, so the second time through, you're going to go to a B flat and a C. So C, D, C, D, B flat, C. Then it goes to a 7th chord, 3A, 2D, 3G. It's going to follow that same concept though. Move it up a whole step to D7 again, and then it changes here on the B flat. 1A, open D, make sure you're not muting that, and an open G. And then 3rd fret A and D, and 2G. It's just an F major. It's got a C bass, you know, if you picture. So it's a F major minus that F on the root. So I'm just using these fingers. So your last 2 chords. Thought that was cool that he chose to change those. That's it for section 1A. It doesn't do that anymore in the song. 12 seconds in, we got section 1B. This is accented with the keys. 3E, 2A, 3D, and 4G. Love it. You're going to go down, up, but the last down, up is string mutes. You'll go. And to achieve that, it's not palm muting, it's string mutes. You're creating it with this hand. Relieve the pressure, kind of flatten the fingers a little, and strum the strings down, up. You don't really have to go and hit all 6, just, you know, top 3, 4 strings. And then from there, as a matter of fact, if that's tough for you, just subgroup that. Practice going. This hand, just right here, you're just... Okay, so the trickier part would be the pressure, no pressure. 1st fret, low E, do a hammer onto the 3rd fret. 1st fret A after that, 1/4 step bend. You can barely gauge it. You can't gauge it off of the half steps because it's half of a half step. So you just, real slight, really just for feel. And then the 3rd fret E. 3A, hammer 5. It's kind of like the midpoint. So you have, and then start over. 1st fret, hammer to 3. And then right back to the 1st fret. That's the midpoint. Then you're going to kind of start it over here. up to the 3E. You don't throw in the on the second half, so it's so the only part that's different is the C to the D hammer-on the A string isn't there on that second half. That is one time through of that section. Okay, so in reality, that's that in real time, basically. A lot of pockets. So funk, R&B, that type of music, which you're obviously a big fan of. The guitar is a lot different than the rock metal thing. It's subtle. It's about laying back, being in the pocket, and laying down this stuff. I love it. So section 1C is next, 24 seconds in. Section 1B carries on behind this, but this is your next part. 3D, 4 times staccato. In other words, real choppy. And then the 5th fret. And then 3rd fret G, vibrato. Then just let it ring out. Okay, back to 3D, 2 times. And then there's our little percussive part. 1, 2, and then we're going to go mute on the D string down, created with these fingers. And then an upstroke on the 3rd fret after that, and then go 5th fret. So that second half goes up to time. So you can see what's happening there, right? We have subtle things that are kind of hard to hear, but it's in there. That goes 4 times total. Okay, that section. Then a little more distortion. I'm going to up the gain a little bit, or my volume. And also this follows the vocal melody of Deal With It. Down, up, basically D, G, and B string. If you hit the high E, that's fine. Down, up, string mutes again though. But do it right over the 5th fret with the 3rd finger. Make sure your fingers are laid out like this, because the playing portion of this, note-wise, is 5, G, and B. I'm going to back it with a couple fingers. We're going to need that, because you don't want that. We're going to bend it. And a lot of times, if you're not used to this, people go to bend it, and the B string will slip out from underneath your finger. Keep pressure into the wood on the neck. And that's what I'm saying, these fingers will help that. And then a 3G. So here's that. Deal with it. That's the vocal melody. Deal with it. Deal with it. Okay, then do that again, but check it out. No mutes. He does a quick 5 pull off to 3 on the D string. So it's, and you're also hitting the 3rd fret G and B. Do it again, but add a 5A to the end of it. So he's building each little quarter subgroup here. Then he throws in this riff. 5G, we're going to bend a whole step. And then 3rd fret B, E, B. 6B to 3E and B. That gives you then 5G bend, and then 5 pull 3, and then 5D. Make sure on your 5 bend that you don't go, that's a bend release. We're just bending. Take your pick, boom, I've touched the string, that kills the note. Alright, and then that's it for that section, which is section 1D, 48 seconds in. Some repeats now, 59 seconds in of 1C and 1D. And then solo number 1, minute 34. I'm calling it solo, but it starts out very rhythmic. It'll go. So 3A, short rest, 5th fret barred A and D, and then 7A. 5D and G barred, and then hammer to 7D. The trick there, these are called double stops. is to hammer, and you should still hear the 5th fret off the G string. 2 notes you should hear. And then 5, 7, D, and A. So 5A. So 5A rest, and then go 7, 9, 1st and 3rd finger. I gotta change pages here. 7, D and G barred, hammer to 9, D, and then back to the 7s. This is very Hendrix. These double stops, they're pieces of chords in chunks of 2 notes at a time. He does this in Little Wing, something like this. And then 10, 7 AD to 9, 7 AD. So it's... Love that stuff. Then here's what I call the Stevie Ray Vaughan part at a minute 37. You'll go 8E, 7A, 10A. Do the same thing a whole step higher. So, and then you'll hit the 6th fret, I believe. Let me double check that. Yep. And then go rest, and then 8, slide to 10, and then 8. That's what happens. So after that, you'll go string mutes, which will be, this is a harmonic tap. These are cool. So mute down up, then hit the 8th fret E, and then you're going to take your middle finger and just tap above the silver fret wire on fret 20. It's an Eddie Van Halen technique, actually. I'm running it 12 frets higher, which is an octave, so that gives you the harmonic tone from the actual note, a C note. And then slide to that note, go. Very cool, it's in there. After that, it's pretty crazy stuff right there. You will go 1st fret on the E, and then 15 G. So hold on here. 3rd fret G, basically slide up to around fret 15. You don't really hear a stop point, but you're gonna end up with going wait a minute, 18th fret on the high E. Okay, that's right. I was thinking of a different part. I'm going to zoom in for you here a little bit. 18th fret high E. I'm going to back that with a couple fingers, bend it a whole step. Then I'm going to go 18, 15 twice, and then 15B. Or see, do the bend, vibrato. So after the slide to 15, 18E, bend, vibrato, bend, no vibrato. Stop the note, so you don't want to hear it come back down to pitch. It's important. And then play it 2 more times, bend the 2nd one, and then go to fret 20. And you're going to bend that, you're going to play it twice, bend the 2nd one, or vibrato the 2nd one. Minute 47 in, you're where you need to be. 20th fret, bend release, and then 18, 20. And 18 hammer 20, pull 18, and then go to 20B. So it's, and then 18, 20 on the E. And then bend the 18E, rest. You want to change some fingering. 18, 15 twice on the high E. That's the part I was talking about a second ago. I skipped a line. And then 15B, 17G, bend, release, pull to 15. And then go 17, 15, and then 17D, slide. So here that is slow after the rest on the 18E. Okay, a little quicker here. 12th fret G, we're going to slide to 17. I'd go third finger on that and then bend it. 15 B, E. Follow the picking in your tabs on that. That high E needs to be an upstroke on this because we're heading back up and it's a quicker riff. 15 B, hammer 18, pull 15, and then 17 G.